So today I'm going to be telling you everything you need to know about the new set, Rage of Chaos. It's going to be a crazy new Yu-Gi-Oh set, and there's going to be 3 new archetypes that can really change how we play Master Duel, but fortunately enough, nothing is ridiculously broken. Let's go ahead and jump into these archetype by archetype. The first archetype I want to talk to you guys about is Draco Slayer. My guy, you like Draco Slayers. Draco Slayers are a pendulum-based Yu-Gi-Oh deck that can actually take advantage of some of the older Draco Slayer cards like Luster Pendulum Draco Slayer and Draco Face-Off. Also, seeing that it is a pendulum deck, something that TCG players didn't have was Heavy Metal Foes Electromite, and this is a card that can help you get into your scales a little bit easier, allowing you to pendulum summon into some crazy boards. There's also cards like World Sea Dragon Zealantis, which is incredibly good for Draco Slayer, allowing you to be able to reset the board and gain the effects of your Draco Slayer monsters that are fusion or synchro, like Ignis or Prominence, to be able to special summon from the deck and destroy cards, as well as Dinoster to be able to special summon from the hand or graveyard. This is really good for allowing you to build the boards that you want, break boards, and completely destroy your opponent. Let's go over some of the important Draco Slayer cards that you are going to need to know about. So the first card is Ignis Phoenix. It is a confirmed ultra rare for this particular pack. And what it does is that it allows you to be able to shuffle one face-up pendulum monster from your extra deck to add a non-Draco Slayer or Ignite monster from your deck to your hand. This effect is okay. You're normally not going to use this. You're going to use this other effect. When it's destroyed, it allows you to be able to special summon one Draco Slayer monster or Ignite monster from your deck to your side of the field and treat it as a tuner. It's really good for starting off your plays, and most builds will play 3 copies. There's also the other monster will be Dynamite, the Power Overlord, the Draco Slayer. This card's really good. It allows you to special summon one Draco Slayer or Dino Mist monster from your opposite scale to your side of the field. And then its other effect is that if it's tributed, you can add one Draco Slayer or Dino Mist monster from your extra deck to your hand. These 2 cards are extremely good for the Draco Slayer strategy, as they allow you to both get monsters to your side of the field to help you pendulum, synchro, fusion, link, whatever this Draco Slayer deck wants to do. There's also another Draco Slayer card in Majesty Pegasus, the Draco Slayer. This card isn't necessarily a card that summons, but it does search. If it's in your scale alongside of a Draco Slayer or Magispector, you can add one Draco Slayer pendulum monster from your deck to your hand with a different original name. Then you can destroy the opposite scale or itself. This allows you to be able to set up combos where you're destroying cards like your Ignis and also adding cards like Dynamite, and Dynamite gets into the scale to be able to special summon Majesty Pegasus to be able to trigger her effect to add one field spell from your deck to your hand. Now you guys should already know how powerful field spells are, because in this card it's fairly generic. It can add cards like Necro Valley or Zombie World to your hand to be able to shut down some of the most powerful decks, but it can also add Sky Iris from your deck to your hand to allow you to be able to destroy more Draco Slayer cards to trigger their effects, as well as being able to add Odd Eyes Revolution Dragon, which can special summon your Draco Slayer fusion and synchro monsters back to your side of the field to gain their effects more. Some cards that you are going to need for this deck is going to be Magispector Bunbuku. This allows you to be able to search into your Majesty Pegasus, but also cards like Performapal Scroll Crobat Joker and the Magician Engine, which is going to be Harmonizing Magician and Purple Poison Magician. Those cards are really good for the deck. To be honest, the Draco Slayer deck is extremely fun to play, but you'll probably lose a lot in the beginning if you don't know how to play this deck, because there's so many combo trees and it's not a ridiculously powerful deck, so you're going to be doing an uphill battle. The fortunate thing is that Tearlament is not the dominant deck it once was, so I think it could compete and could be a Diamond/Masters level deck, a deck that you will definitely at least see in Platinum because players love Pendulum. Now the next deck is a strategy that everyone is flipping out about.
Kashtira is the ultimate deck of destruction. It will be the deck that ruins you.
Actually, not really. It is already confirmed that we are not getting Kashtira's most powerful monster in Kashtira Riceheart. Also, Kashtira Fenrir will be semi-limited upon release. That's actually pretty good. Now don't get me wrong, Kashtira might still come out and make some waves, But to be honest, Draco Slayer might be the stronger of the two when it comes to powerful Yu-Gi-Oh decks in this pack. But let's go over the Kashtira cards. The most important thing about Kashtira right now is Kashtira Finra. This card is actually crazy. It allows you to add any Kashtira monster from your deck to your hand, and then if it attacks, it can banish one face-up card on the field face down. In case you guys didn't know, banishing face down is really good because certain cards that would allow you to access your banish pile and add them to your hand can't get you banished face down cards back. So it's kind of crazy. Finra can also activate its effect when a monster effect is activated to banish a card, so it's a solid form of disruption and can be played in just about every single Yu-Gi-Oh deck. Overall, it's a ridiculously busted card, and I want you guys to think of Kashtira Finra like Cyber Dragon. It's a free summon that can replace itself and get rid of cards, except it's tuned to make it feel exactly like how Cyber Dragon felt back in the day. Crazy. Now, I still wouldn't sleep on the other Kashtira monsters. They're still pretty good, just not amazing outside of their own deck. Kashtira Unicorn allows you to be able to add any Kashtira spell or trap card from your deck to your hand. At the time of making this video, it is not 100% confirmed that we'll be getting the other Kashtira spells and trap cards. I'll go over them anyways. Kashtira Papyrus, which allows you to special summon a Kashtira monster from your deck to your side of the field. Kashtira Birth, which is one of the most busted cards ever printed. It allows you to summon extra Kashtira monsters from your graveyard or your banished pile. And those are incredibly powerful spell cards that you'll see. Another card I want to talk about is Kashtira Ogre. This monster normally isn't played in a lot of TCG builds, but it actually does have its special place. I personally think it is a boost for Marine Test players, as this card is 2800 attack and can just summon itself to the side of the field and is a water monster. Its effects aren't necessarily ridiculously powerful, but in the TCG, we had a combo where if you open this card, you can knock out 9 of your opponent's zones, like the Ojama lock, except way better. Kashtira Riceheart is also a really interesting card because you'll start to see him splashed in some other decks alongside of Finra because of its attributes. He can banish a Kashtira card from your deck to make him level 7, and then banish the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck face down. So if you really hated Runic, then you're really going to hate this card. Riceheart allows this deck to be able to go into some easy rank 7 plays. And speaking of rank 7s, we're going to talk about Kashtira Shangri-Ira. This card isn't as powerful seeing that Kashtira Riceheart doesn't yet exist in the game, but it does allow you to lock your opponent out of zones, can also potentially destroy cards on your opponent's side of the field, thanks to the help of Pressure Planet Raysorth, which can search any Kashtira monster, and then it allows you to summon Kashtira monsters from your deck to your side of the field. Crazy. Some other powerful rank 7s that you probably should be looking into for this deck currently. Number 11, Big Eye is extremely good. Mecha Phantom Beach Draco Sack is crazy. And Galaxy Tomahawk is not banned. Hell, this might be the stronger deck because Galaxy Tomahawk's not bad. Now, unless we get all of the Kashtira cards, you're probably going to be struggling to fill out the deck. Some cards that I would recommend is Side Beast. Not only does it banish Kashtira monsters to shut up your Kashtira Birth, it also becomes level 7. And then there's other cards like Cyber Valley, which is kind of crazy. It can banish itself alongside of another monster on the field to be able to draw 2 cards. This is really, really good if your opponent starts to give you monsters so you can't summon your Kashtira cards. It can also clear the board for you to summon your own Kashtira cards. Also, it banishes your Kashtiras to summon back with Birth. And the last strategy I want to bring to your attention actually completely failed in the TCG, but I want to make you aware. The Chaos cards are cool looking. Chaos monsters have existed since the dawn of Blackluster Soldier and Chaos Sorcerer. They're getting support inside of this set. It's named Rage the Chaos for a reason. It's named Rage of Chaos. Come on, get it right, Kelly. It really sucks that Chaos as an archetype has been very lackluster. So, to be honest, I think it's best to just skip over the Chaos cards that I'm talking about and get to the real problem. Chaos Angel is simply one of the best cards in the entire Yu-Gi-Oh card game. This card can be synchro summoned normally, but can also be synchro summoned by sending monsters to the graveyard as long as they're light and dark, treating them one as a tuner. This means monsters like the Bestials, which happen to be level 6, easy to summon. A monster like Fairy Tale Snow, which naturally isn't a tuner, can both be used for a synchro summon into Chaos Angel, but that's not where it stops. Chaos Angel can also banish a card on the field when it's summoned, and depending on what monsters that you used, light and dark, you gain other effects. If you use light monsters, all of your synchro summon monsters are unaffected by your opponent's monster effects. Yeah, I said that. If you use dark monsters, none of your monsters can be destroyed by battle. None of them. Chaos Angel genuinely has it all. It's ridiculously easy to summon. It gives you a way to be able to banish your opponent's cards. And if you use light and dark monsters, you can gain both effects of being immune and indestructible by battle to all of your monsters. It's crazy. This card immediately makes decks like Branded really strong in case they don't draw Branded Fusion, but also puts Dragon Link to an even higher sphere of competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! This deck probably needs to be addressed right now. Don't think I forgot about the little guy. Decks like Thunder Dragon and Lightsworn also get a huge boost with this card. It's very powerful, and unless you play a card like a Kaiju, it's going to be really, really hard to destroy. Also, you're going to have to respect it when your opponent just summons 2 monsters that normally wouldn't do anything. This card's crazy. And that's all that I have for the quick rundown on the cards you should expect to see from Rage of Chaos. It's going to be really, really crazy to play into this format, and it's going to be awesome to see what Konami has in store for us for the rest of the month. Of course, if you want to see more amazing videos like this, you already know what to do. I am Leon, also known as Master Duel Cali or the Cali Effect. Go ahead and click on these videos, and I'll catch you on the next one.